Geraldo Rivera, and up front tonight is the whole story of a brutal murder that never should have happened. Before we show you exactly how Joran van der Sloot got the cash and the chance to kill again, I'd like you to meet our panel tonight. Van der Sloot, as you probably have heard, has informed authorities in Peru that he wants to tell authorities in Aruba what really happened to Natalie Holloway. Really? And bearing in mind that Stephanie Flores Ramirez was killed on the 5th anniversary to the day that Natalie Holloway went missing in Aruba, we have a terrific panel to probe what has to be one of the most bizarre and disturbing double murder stories ever. We're joined by former LAPD Detective Mark Furman, who's been investigating the scene in Peru, by former prosecutor and at-large co-host Kimberly Guilfoyle, and by former new NYPD ace detective Bo Dietl, who is in on the sting and who has harsh words for the architects of the sting in Aruba. And we also are joined by the Dutch Island's top journalist, El Diario's Josie Mansour. Josie, let me start with you. Is this the talk of Aruba, this murder bust in Lima, Peru?
It sure is. It's caught the attention of everyone. The media is full of it. We get our news just like you do, directly from Peru, from Lima.
And are people feeling, I knew he was a murderer, or people are saying, oh my goodness, he's a murderer?
Oh, they're saying, now they're convinced that he did do away with Natalie in Aruba also, before he went and did a
Can you do what? Tilt it down?
All right, Mark, we hear you talking in, but don't worry about the camera tilt. Let me ask you a question, Mark Furman. Given the brutality of the murder of Stephanie Flores Ramirez, Mark, as now Joran van der Sloot has confessed, doesn't it make it, as Josie says, the people of Aruba now feel much more likely that he is the murderer of Natalie Holloway, probably killed her with his bare hands or whatever was handy, just as he killed Stephanie Flores Ramirez, Mark?
Well, I think you're right, Geraldo, and I think the people of Aruba are right. But I think there's something going on here that we don't know about Joran van der Sloot. We don't know what goes on in his head. I think he's got a rage issue, a temper that sets him off in certain circumstances, perhaps alcohol, drugs. But I think this is the common denominator with both these murders. I don't think either one of them was premeditated when you look at the circumstance. It's absolutely ridiculous. He could be no more obvious than he was.
Kimberly Guilfoyle, quote, "For his own safety, we cannot mix him with the other prisoners. This murder case is so infamous that he could easily be killed."
Yeah, they've got a real security risk on their hands. This is somebody who is notorious, infamous now in Peru. Everybody's able to go on the computer, find out about the Natalie Holloway case, and then, of course, the sensational facts of this case where poor Stephanie Flores Ramirez was murdered. When they take him out and they've done multiple perp walks, he's getting lettuce thrown at him. You've got people out there with voodoo dolls sticking there yelling murderer to him. They have made up their mind about this case, and probably with good reason with respect to the facts and the evidence and his confession.
Bo Dietl, before we go point by point, videotape by videotape into exactly what went down between Easter Sunday and May 30th, or actually June 4th when he's finally confessing, you were involved in helping craft the sting in Aruba, where Joran van der Sloot met with John Q. Kelly, the New York lawyer working for Beth Holloway, and Joran, after promising to show where Natalie Holloway was buried, collects the money that he uses then to go to Lima, Peru, and he kills Stephanie Flores Ramirez. I know that the architects of this thing have been criticized. You are receiving some critical mail yourself, Bo. Do you feel that you, John Q. Kelly, the FBI, the Arubans, who was responsible for allowing this SOB to take that money and leave Aruba without even being tailed or surveilled by the FBI?
You know, it starts out with him contacting John Kelly. John Kelly's contacted by Joran van der Sloot. He says he wants $250,000. His father died. He wants the $250,000. At this time, John was in my office. We were talking about it. He then decided to call the FBI in Alabama, where the family was from there. They didn't just go get on a plane. They had 10 to 12 agents there. They went to Aruba. They first got a warrant.
Who are you blaming, Bob?
Well, let me finish it, and then I'll tell you at the end of when I finish. Now you get them come there. They went with the cooperation of the Aruba government. It's a two-party state. They had to get a warrant to put the cameras into that room, into that hotel room. They go there, they get the statement, but they got something else. They got a jackpot statement with him saying he finally says he kills Natalie, pushing down where she cracks her head open. Now you got him admitting to a murder. So now you got him with the extortion, got him with the wire fraud. All of a sudden, John goes with him, he takes him to the location where it's supposed to be. John then leaves, but what happens? You've got the Aruba government. The FBI is not in the United States. The FBI is in Aruba. The Aruba government is the ones at fault right here, and I'm sick and tired of getting emails saying that John Kelly or the FBI is at fault.
Hold on. It is known that John Q. Kelly and Beth flew to Aruba on April 3rd, Easter Sunday weekend. Why is he not putting that information in there? They went with no money, and they met with Joran, and then they returned, and then, according to John Q. Kelly, and even Bo here last week or so, indicated that once they returned from Aruba, they contacted the FBI. And also on April 15th, I believe it is, Beth Holloway wired Joran $100 as a good faith, we're interested type of deposit until they returned in May. Here we go.
Sloot got the cash and the chance to kill again. Item Easter Sunday. Joran Sloot meets in Aruba with attorney John Q. Kelly. Kelly's working for Natalie Holloway's mother, Beth, who Joran has convinced via emails that he was finally willing to tell the truth about how he killed her daughter and where Natalie's body can be found. Item May 10th. After a month of give and take, in a secretly recorded meeting with attorney Kelly in Aruba's Marriott Hotel, Joran accepts $10,000 in Beth Holloway's money, while $15,000 more is wired to a bank account in the young Dutchman's name. Sloot tells Kelly he pushed Natalie on the night they met. She fell, he says, hit her head on a rock, and died. Joran claims his father, now dead, helped him bury her. He guides Kelly to where he claims remains of the long-dead Alabama teenager can be found. But a quick check later reveals his story is an obvious fake. The building where the body was supposedly buried did not even exist in 2005. Then, in what seems a shocking mistake, despite clear-cut video evidence of extortion and wire fraud, Sloot is neither arrested nor even kept under surveillance by any of the 10 or 12 FBI agents sent to Aruba for the sting. Where were they, and what were they doing instead? Item Friday, May 14th. Joran, his pockets bulging with Beth Holloway's cash, arrives in Lima, Peru, on a flight from Colombia. He is in time to play in the Latin American poker tour, being staged at a local casino, the Atlantic City.